Welcome into the Dynasty Mafia podcast, everybody. Happy Saturday. Antonio, Eric, and Keenan with you as always. We're getting into week 7. We've got a terrible week, a horrible week. I've been crying all week trying to figure out how I'm going to set my lineups. Eric's been having some similar issues. Keenan apparently doesn't have those kind of problems. So we're going to dive into that today as we've got so much to talk about with this Binado, Bipocalypse, Bifun, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't figure it out. But Keenan and Eric, what's going on today, fellas? How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, he doesn't have any issues because he's that expert drafter. He's coming out with a draft kit next year, I heard.
Who, me?
No, I'm just
yeah. Yeah,
no,
$30.
I thought, what was that in the beginning? I thought my computer just got hacked for a second.
Oh, did you like that? I don't know. There's a little countdown thing.
I like it.
I don't know. I think it's just really for Twitter.
Cool. You know, but he did. Our listeners don't know, but Antonio didn't even tell us that was going to happen. All I heard was, "All right, we're ready." And all of a sudden,
and then that happened. I was like,
countdown. I'm like,
Keenan was having issues earlier. I'm like, all right,
what is going on?
Got hacked.
Well, I clicked on it, and I didn't know it was just going to start right away. I thought I had an option to then hit when we go live, it's going to start. But no, it started. So I don't know if I only caught I don't know if any of that honestly even caught live. I don't know if I was supposed to hit live. So there was supposed to be a countdown. So for anybody on YouTube, sorry, that might not be there. If you're on Twitter, though, I'd probably mess that up. But if you're not checking us out on YouTube, make sure you are Dynasty Mafia Podcast. YouTube.com/Dynasty Mafia Podcast. I'm amped, guys. It's Saturday. It's not nice outside. I've been stuck inside. The kids are going crazy, getting ready to take a nap. Keenan just put his kids down. We're ready to talk some football, man. What's going on? Tell me something good. Anything good this week?
The Bills are not going to lose a football game this week.
The Bills are not going to lose a football game for multiple weeks. Let's just say that with that schedule coming up, they shouldn't have lost last week either. But whatever. How do you guys feel about that call? 4th and inches, kick the field goal, or go for it?
When McDermott decided to go for it, right? Yeah. I thought it was a great call to go for it. Believe in your offense. Believe in Josh Allen. I just really hated the quarterback sneak. I get that he slipped, but I think in general, the way he was going, where he was going, it wasn't going well.
I didn't like that walk up at all.
I didn't like the walk up. That's it. When he went to shotgun, I was like, okay. And I wish he would have just went right to the line, right out of the huddle. But like the little shotgun thing, someone did make a point where if you watch the video, well, we won't spend too much time on the Bills, but if you watch the video, the left guard gave Morris the silent count, like the tap on the shoulder or tap on the leg or whatever, and he never snapped the ball. So I'm wondering the reason he walked up to the line of scrimmage was to get the line, ready to snap the ball, because the guard tapped Morris on the leg and he never snapped the ball to Allen. I don't know if you guys caught that. So I watched a replay of that last play hundreds of times.
Yeah, I've seen it a bit too, and I always blame the center on it, but in the end, good win for the Titans. I don't know. I'll have to take a look again, but it was sad. But if you're losing, if you have a losing team, especially in fantasy, that's what we're here for this week. We're trying to help you get some wins because you might even need to buy some wins. We're going to get into that, but we were talking about the Bills on bye. It's Dallas as well, Jacksonville, Los Angeles Chargers, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. So 6 teams on the bye this week, the most that we're going to have of any bye week. And like I said, man, I'm struggling. I'm starting some players I didn't think I would be saying I'd be starting this season. I always knew coming up to week 7 with a lot of my teams and players I liked that it was just going to be a chalk it up and pray week. But now that I'm actually here, I'm feeling it.
Do you ever go into a draft in August to worry about week 7 buys?
No, I never in general worry about a buy. I didn't notice it till a lot of my teams were done, and I noticed. Yeah, I think I have 9 redraft leagues this year, so I had accumulated a good amount of players, and
I don't even pay attention to it. I don't even.
Yeah, I don't. That's when I noticed afterwards.
I might just write it down moving forward, like during the draft, but still not like, don't let it affect my draft strategy. Just kind of like, just so I guess you have a couple weeks to prepare for it. Where like, if you don't pay attention to the buys from day one, you're kind of I don't know. It was a surprise, I bet, to a lot of people to see all these buys this week.
And at least for me, I consider that a pro, not a con, because now most of my team, I'm not going to have to worry about those bye weeks for the rest of the year. So I'm getting out of the way early in the season. Maybe even if I am 2-4 right now, I'm still getting that out of the way. Keenan, you and I were talking before that you're probably not looking to sell any players, but
no, I'm not looking to
or
overpay.
sell
overpay.
Yeah.
Overpay. I almost did last week, and that usually I make people overpay for buy players at the last week, and I'm glad Clint said no, because I could have just picked up the backup running back for running back that I was trying to trade for, and he would have got me more points than the running back I was trading for. And there he is. Speaking of Clint.
A fun fact, the Bills have never won a game that Allen caught a touchdown.
Well, Allen didn't catch a touchdown last game, Clint. Way to go, buddy. He caught a 2-point conversion.
But he's not wrong. That is definitely still a fact. The Bills have not won a game where Allen caught a touchdown.
No,
so thank you for that. Well, that was a touchdown. Sorry. Yeah.
It was not a touchdown. So, it was a 2-point conversion.
But I'm saying, like, it was never.
I think it's referring to
caught a touchdown in the end zone. So that's my point.
Year.
That's true.
It could be years ago.
Oh, the playoffs. All right. So with that being said, though, all those buy players we had listed or buy teams, they accumulate for a lot of the top 24 at the major positions, especially running backs and wide receivers. So like I said, you're running into a lot of issues. You're running into a lot of problems. Don't pay attention to those bye weeks, but now that we're here, you just figure out how to fix it. You can make trades throughout the season. You can pick up players. You don't know what your roster is going to look like from week 1 into week 7. So with that being said, I just wanted to go over a few players here that you're going to see not playing this week. Austin Eckler, Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Deontay Johnson. There is so many of them. Dalton Schultz, Dawson Knox, your quarterbacks of Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen. All of these players I'm listing, you're not even talking about injuries, McCaffrey, Barkley. It's, CEH. It's tough. I know I just kind of am going off a list and just talking for a while, but I think that kind of shows.
Is it tough, though?
Look at all those players were in the top 24 at their positions.
But if you have an issue, I have an issue.
That's not what you're saying.
I have injury problems. I have Barkley and I have CEH. When it comes to bye week problems, I don't have any bye week problems this week. But if I'm having injury problems, you're having a bye issue problems, and so is Big E. Is it really an issue? Everyone's going to be starting some guy off the waiver wire.
That's the hope. So far, I've been looking at a lot of my matchups, and I do hold a lot of the players on bye. So I'm just really kind of chucking up and praying, like I said earlier. But you're right. There are other teams that could be dealing with those issues. Unfortunately, the leagues I had the opportunity to get Barkley and CMC, I do have them. So I've been climbing an uphill battle ever since. Eric, how are you doing in your leagues? You haven't talked too much about your bye week or injury issues.
I got a lot of Dak and CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. I got some bye issues, but for the most part, I've been able to figure it out. The one league where we have 10 starters, that one I guess I'm having a little bit of trouble. But for the most part, it's not too bad. My injuries haven't been awful either. I got Galladay in a few leagues; he's out. But
are you dropping
luckily,
him?
I've been. No, I don't know. No, just they paid him too much to not. They paid him too much to not keep him. A big part of the offense, and I think once they just get it figured out, he will be. Sterling Shepard's not going to be there long term. I don't think so. But if Tony steps up, and they obviously got Galladay for what I think it's 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah, but you said hopefully they get it together, and so far when Galladay's been playing and he has been in the game, Shepard's still getting most of the targets. You saw Tony come in and get 10 plus targets. I don't know. I'm worried. I understand maybe not dropping him, but like, can you see yourself starting him?
I'm worried, but I think if he's healthy and out there, I think he's a very viable flex option. So there's no way I'm dropping him. But I'm definitely worried about his value and anything more than, like I said, just a flex option.
Yeah, and you can't really trade him with everything going on.
He's in,
like you said, value.
A healthy Galladay, he's a wide receiver 3 or 4. Unfortunately, more if he's healthy, he's more in the wide receiver 3 range. But yeah, it sucks. It's not.
What about
not something we could see coming, especially with how much they paid him.
Speaking of wide receivers that are struggling, what are you guys doing with Allen Robinson? You can't start him, right?
No, he was one of my sells earlier in the season because of this fact. Because you can't expect a rookie quarterback to come in and just produce a high end wide receiver 1 like he was being.
Well, I mean, I think
it doesn't.
We kind of got spoiled with the rookie quarterbacks the last couple of classes. There's always been one or two really good ones, and this rookie class has just been crap, I guess.
On top of that, they lost their running back. It's just the whole offense is kind of.
I think I'd say for Robinson, sorry to interrupt you, Keenan, but I would try to trade him first. I know you're not going to get too much, but we were just talking about. No, you can't. Well, yeah, you can't drop him, but you can't start him. I agree with you. He's got more than 10 points. He didn't do it at all. He hasn't done it yet this whole season. He's only got 36 targets. So I know that's not something you're looking for in a wide receiver 2 even. So you could trade him for like Sterling Shepard.
Oh, I was going to say, you might be able to trade him for Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood had a couple bad games.
He's getting touchdowns though. I don't think you're going to be able to get him for Hollywood, but I don't know. I love Sterling Shepard. We're going to talk about him later as a trade target.
Talking about Bateman.
Bateman's a good one.
Week.
You know what
Bateman's
I would do?
One,
I mean, I'm saying for Hollywood.
If I had Robinson, you know what I would do? I would try to get one of those rookie running backs that haven't produced yet. Carter, the running back. Who's the running back?
Trey Sermon.
Sermon, yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson in New England, yeah.
I mean, Stevenson's probably on waivers, but yeah, if you could get Carter, in hope to God that Carter produces later on in the year, or Sermon from San Francisco, that's what.
Or even Damian Harris, or even Damian Harris. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of people to trade running backs right now without you probably paying a premium, just with the way the positions have been going. But I think you're right, though. I mean, name value of Robinson's still there. People still believe in Fields.
Yeah.
If you believe in Fields and you believe in Robinson, you can probably find somebody. But let me just move us along, or give you one last thought before we move along, because I want to move to our next segment called Dropping the Deuce. We're going to talk about some players, if you're going to drop them or not. Like I said, we got bye weeks going on, and there's some tough decisions you have to make. There's some struggling players that just maybe aren't going to fix it. So I want to hear some thoughts. Did you have one last thought, though, on Galladay, who was somebody we did talk about dropping?
I'm not dropping.
Or I'm sorry, not Galladay, Allen Robinson.
No, I'm all set.
I was gonna say, just don't trade him away for just anyone. Like I mentioned Bateman, but I meant more so like Bateman might lower Hollywood's value.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, they're going nuts. But you continue. But yeah, I was gonna say, don't trade him away for nothing. But it's not fun going forward.
All right, cool. So, all right, dropping the deuce. Oh, I hate to ask this, guys, but he's on a bye week this week. He's been struggling a lot. Laviska Shenault. Are you dropping him?
He's been cut. Done.
No, why would you drop him?
I mean,
he just had 10 targets. He had 6 for 60 yards.
So he is getting a lot of targets, but he's only gotten more than 12 points once. He's going more than 11 points twice. And that best game he's had all season was week 1. It's just
I dropped him for Pittman.
I'm sorry, week 4. I love Laviska Shenault. I said, before the season he's going to get 100 targets. Right now, I'll be honest, he's on pace for that, but it's just disgusting. He's only having just over 10 yards a catch, and Trevor Lawrence, is not looking
too hot. What is all that about?
I don't like what Jacksonville is doing.
He's not, but I'm telling you, I was looking at our waiver wires, even in a 10-team league, there's not much there. You can't drop somebody that just got 10 targets, regardless of how good he's doing and what he's doing with the targets. He's somebody with a ton of potential. This offense is working through issues, clearly. But he's a very viable flex option, and you can't just drop that for what's on.
So maybe we're just dropping the deuce at the piece of like, hey man, we're not just dropping you. Maybe we're going to get rid of you too. So he's definitely a trade target then. Well then, so the way you're talking, is he a trade target for you? Are you looking to acquire Laviska Shenault this week?
I mean, I would, if somebody's valuing him as somebody as potentially a drop potential, then yeah, I would trade somebody on my bench. I mean, I would have to look to see who I got, but if it's somebody on my bench I'm considering dropping, sure, I'll send a trade over just to see.
Yeah, he has no touchdowns still, which is really hurting him. Again, part of the offense, part of the play of Lawrence. All right, so Cole Beasley.
Yeah, you could drop him if you. I wouldn't drop him now, but when Dawson Knox comes back, I think he's droppable. But with Knox being out, I think he's actually going to see an uptick in targets. So I wouldn't drop him yet.
Yeah, they discussed Dawson Knox being out potentially 3 weeks, one of these weeks being the bye week. But you're right. He's very dependent on that whole offense being there. 9 or more targets in 3 games, 4 or less targets in 3 games. So with that being said, Miles Sanders.
No, you're not selling him or dropping him.
Are you or dropping him either? Okay,
you're keeping him. I know he's. Sorry, I had to take a phone call, but I know he's running back 33 right now in PPR leagues. But you're going to get a healthy offensive line soon for the Eagles with Lane Johnson coming back. And if you look at their schedule is not great for their run defense schedule. Their opponents' run defense is horrible. So you have the Giants twice, you have Washington twice, I think. I think the playoff schedule. Let me see here in my notes. Oh man, who are they playing in the playoffs? Week 15, 17, they play Washington and the Giants. So I keep Sanders.
He has more than 66 total yards one time and has no touchdowns.
He's fine.
But you're saying you're not trading him either. So then if he's your RB2, which for most people, he's probably your RB2, what are you doing with him?
Not dropping him. Not giving him.
So are you going to start him though? Is he your RB2 to start? Are you going to put him in your flex if you have a better option? Like, so would you play Myles Gaskin against Vegas, or would you play Miles Sanders?
Sanders. I know. I mean, Gaskin's been just as bad.
He has, but he's gotten the opportunities and he gets the touchdowns. That's the thing.
A couple weeks ago, he had 0.3 fantasy points.
And the week after that, he had 80 reception yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but how many targets did he have that game?
He had a lot of targets.
No, and I don't think he did that.
Speaking of Miles Sanders, can we just talk about like the Eagles? Like, what is their plan? Like,
first, before we
are
talk
they
about
just trying to make all of their players look terrible just so they can do a complete rebuild next year, or like, is their coach just going to get fired? Like, I don't know what they're doing.
I think it's a new staff. You have 2 coaches, the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Neither have ever called plays before. Their defense is injured. Their offensive line's injured. They have a rookie quarterback essentially.
But Miles Sanders
nothing's going right
when they give him the ball, and they just don't give him the ball.
I think, honest to God, if you want to be serious, I truly think it's off the field. He did something wrong off the field.
Time out. I'm looking at his workload right now. In the last 2 weeks, he had 70% of the snaps, 91% of the carries, 64% of the targets for running back positions.
Gainwell has gotten a lot more.
I'm telling you, the only conclusion. Listen,
87% the only of touches and 100% of red zone touches.
The only conclusion I can come to is that he wants to make Fields look that bad to give him an out after this season.
Hurts?
And the coach wants to make Hurts. Yeah, who did I say? Fields? Sorry. The coach wants to make Hurts look that bad that he wants an out after this season to get his guy next year. I'm telling you, nothing makes more sense than that, because you don't put that much on.
Gameplay is showing some good flashes.
But why wouldn't you?
Sanders is better.
Why would you try to make him look bad? Why wouldn't you try to see if he
is
the quarterback of the future? Like,
because you're going to trade him if you're not.
You're going to trade him. Either you're trading him or you're getting yourself a franchise quarterback. Why would you try to make him look bad?
Well, it's not. I mean, I guess maybe not necessarily trying to make him look bad, but trying to maybe
But-
prove to the owner that he's not the future. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean-
What? Why else would you not?
I don't know.
They,
I don't know.
they had a game where they literally gave their running backs 3 carries. It just
Who was
doesn't
that
make
against?
sense.
Who was that against? That was against Tampa, right?
Yes, I believe so.
The best run defense in the league. So that was game plan.
Let me see.
No, that's not game. You don't. No.
Well,
No
let's-
NFL coach
that's
is going to
game
game plan
That's-
3
that's-
carries
and
to
it-
your running backs. No.
That's what they.
Stop.
Well, that's probably what it was. Here we go. Savon
No.
texted me. He wants a trade.
It was Dallas. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. But
They shouldn't have done
Clint-
it, but it is probably part of their game plan. Probably.
Clint has a question. We're going to shift over now to the Niners. Are you dropping Brandon Ayuk? You have Deebo Samuel, who's been obviously showing a lot of positivity. Basically, is the whole offense. The running backs can't get right. You have injuries to Kittle, injuries with Ayuk, so they say. He hasn't done anything really all year. What are you doing with him, Keenan? You just said no to dropping him, but they're on a bye week this week. He's sitting on your bench. He hasn't got more than 6 targets. What are you doing?
I mean, back to Eric's point. There's really not much out there in the waiver wire, so I don't think you could drop him. You can't drop someone that's in a Shanahan offense.
You weren't liking Shanahan too
Give
much
him-
a couple weeks
Well,
ago.
no,
Give
well,
him one more week.
no,
Garoppolo's
timeout.
back.
Timeout. It had
Garoppolo's
nothing to do-
back.
It had nothing to do with his offense that I didn't like him. It was him as a head coach I didn't like in general. Shanahan's a great offensive mind. Don't get me wrong, but as a head coach, I think he's underperformed. But that's a conversation for another day. Back to Ayuk. You can't drop him because of what he's done in the past or just last year.
So, would you rather have Ayuk or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Ayuk.
Eric?
Jimmy G's coming back. Lance has
With
struggled.
Jimmy G back, I'd rather have Ayuk. I'm gonna give him another week or two to see what happens there, because we saw last year. Obviously, Jimmy G preferred Ayuk, so yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, give him another week. There's really not. I mean, I don't know who was on the waiver wire that you're gonna.
I did pick up Pittman Jr.
Yeah.
on the waiver wire the other day.
That's
so, I mean,
surprising because he's
yeah.
having a good year like that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's
Let's
on
see.
the waiver wire.
Jacoby Meyer. I'm looking at the waiver wire in one of my leagues. Oh, this isn't the right league I should look at. So if it's a completely different league. So you have Donovan Peoples-Jones, Devontae Parker,
No,
Brian Edwards,
no,
Van Jefferson,
no,
Slayton, Elijah Moore.
no.
I mean, like, I understand but a lot of these guys are getting more targets or at similar points to Ayuk. So you just hope he steps up. But you're right. Give him one more week. Give him another second week, maybe. So we're not going to drop Ayuk, Clint, is what it seems like. Robbie Anderson, you dropping him? More than 3 catches or 50 yards just twice.
That offense in general has struggled, huh?
What's
Yeah,
his
going from
roster?
3-0
What's
to
his roster
3-3.
percentage? I feel like he's somebody that would be on the waiver wire.
A lot of people are still sticking, I think, to that Darnold connection, what he could do. 61% on Yahoo. So he's
Oh.
still a lot, yeah. I
I'd
don't know.
be
It's
comfortable
tough
dropping
this
him,
first week.
but I guess
They're playing the Giants, so you're hoping he can get right. Then they got Atlanta, New England, Arizona, Washington, Miami before the bye. So they have a really good stretch for Darnold or for the whole Panthers team to get right.
I wouldn't drop him for one of those wide receivers that you just named, but like you
Like-
need a running back or something to fill in, then I would feel comfortable dropping him if you're deciding between him and another player. But
Yeah, but I mean, with
wouldn't be a
Fuller,
bad hold too.
with Fuller gone, Parker's coming back. He's had at least 7 targets in every game. So Devontae Parker might be somebody worth it. Donovan Peoples-Jones, depending on the injuries long term, and with Baker, that'd be tough. But
Well, and you have Odell and Landry back.
yeah, they both came back too. All right, so how about a couple more players here? Dawson Knox, you keep him on your roster? He's injured. Talked about him being out for 3 weeks. Starting a bye week this week.
Yes,
Top
you
5
keep
tight
him.
end.
Yes, you keep them.
What if you don't have an IR spot and you have a
Yes.
lot of bye weeks? You're going to need
Yes.
to.
Yes, you keep them. You figure it out. I
don't know.
roll-
What the tight ends look like, I think you do have to try and do your best. to
Seals
figure it out.
Jones, Evan Ingram's coming back, and Joku.
I'd roll
he
Jones
didn't
is
do well.
nothing.
I'd roll without a kicker. If I didn't have an IR spot and I had to make room, kicker would be the first one gone. Not.
Seals Jones has had a good last 2 weeks, though. So he's a very, very, very good. He was probably my top priority for a tight end replacement here, Pat Freiermuth. Freiermuth's getting some attention now with Juju out. All right, a couple more wide receivers. Sammy Watkins. Bateman's coming back in. Watkins is injured. Are you still holding on to him at all? Were you holding on to him at all?
This might be the first player we talked about that I'm dropping. There's no point in
he's
keeping
not
him.
on any of my teams.
Yeah. There's no point in keeping him with Bateman back, Hollywood.
I wouldn't even. I would feel comfortable dropping him healthy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, week 1 was his best game. That seems to be his
That's what he likes to do.
his normal thing.
Yeah.
What about McCole Hardman? Just 1 touchdown and more than 5 targets in 2 games.
What's he like, the 5th option in Kansas City? Drop.
Yeah, a lot of promise. They talked him up a lot this offseason. Naeem Hines. So Marlon Mack's got some trade rumors about being sent away. JT's having an amazing time now. He officially broke out last week again. And he doesn't have a lot of catches.
The only way I think you have to keep him is if you have JT. But like if you have an injury problem, you have to, like wide receiver or tight end, you probably have to drop Hines.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Dropping a deuce. There we go. I like that segment.
Did we talk about Cole Beasley at all?
We did when you had a phone call. So we were talking about Eric agreed we should drop Cole Beasley.
I said keep him until Knox is back because I think he's going to see an uptick in targets while Knox is out.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, so next segment, we're going to call this one a King's Ransom. Derrick Henry.
Now you want to talk about this. Not when I was
Derrick Henry
mentioning it.
Is doing some insane things, guys. On pace for almost 2,300 yards and 28 touchdowns. That's just on the ground. Going to have a career high in catches, which, you were really hoping to have if we were ever hoping for a PPR breakout. He also is the only player on that 76-yard touchdown run, the only player in the league to hit 21.8 miles per hour. He's been the fastest player in the league so far this year. At that size, I think we all owe Derrick Henry an apology. And by we all, like the whole community.
Whoa,
Whoa. You didn't draft him.
Big E does not.
Big E did not draft him at number 2, as he was talking about the other day that he should have.
I told everybody draft him over Kamara. And I proved that I did that.
That's fair. But he's absolutely unstoppable. So what I wanted to talk about was
Derrick Henry. King Henry.
Are you Kamara, trading baby? Him?
Woo!
Are you trading him, or are you taking offers for him, and what would it be to do so?
Is this Dynasty?
Let's start with a redraft. I want to hear what would you take to get rid of him, especially during this week bye week? You might be struggling. You can definitely get a 2-for-1, maybe even a 3-for-1.
Since I have him in the league, I'm going to start here because I was actually looking at it.
Wait, let me stop you here. I forgot to ask, and I'm very sorry. Rest of season, Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, you say that so confidently.
Derrick Henry.
Is CMC on our? Isn't he on IR?
Yeah, week 9.
He'll be back week 9, but okay. So
this is the classic.
Right, we'll talk about CMC plus then. We'll talk to this. So Eric, continue what you're saying.
All right. So I was thinking. So my first initial right off the bat, I'm not trading Derrick Henry in a redraft league. I'm not trading him away. I will think about serious offers in a dynasty league, but nobody's going to pay what I'm going to want in a dynasty league just because of his age. And everyone thinks, oh, it's a 1-year rental. And no, he looks great. Like, I think he's going to have a great season next year too. Like I'm very confident in it. But in a redraft league, like you can't trade away a league winner. Like when CMC is fully healthy, are you trading away him? You can't. But if you did, when I was looking, because somebody, Alex Colosa, sent me a kicker for Derrick Henry as a joke. So I sent him like his half of his team for Derrick Henry as a joke. But I was looking. Yeah, don't listen to him. And I was thinking like Aaron Jones and Travis Kelce, and I still wasn't even sure if I would even send that.
For Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Nah. What about, let's say you
no, as
drafted
in,
heavy. Like, that's not enough.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not crazy. So
No.
okay.
What would you say if you drafted wide receivers heavy? You obviously would be short on running backs. Would you trade AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson? Would you give that up for Derrick Henry, or would you give up Derrick Henry for that?
Oh man,
Redraft rest of the season. AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson for Derrick Henry. So I have a league, for example, where I'm pretty heavy at 4 or 5 wide receivers. I have a couple leagues, so I drafted heavy at wide receiver. Now I need to package these wide receivers, 2 of them. You know, I got CeeDee Lamb. We talked about this last week on the pod, but like that's where I think you might need to go. Is you need those 2 elites up there. Like maybe it's not, but that's what I was asking. So Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown or Derrick Henry. What side you taking?
I mean,
AJ Brown. I go with Henry just because Brown hasn't really produced until last week, and if you trade for Brown and Jefferson, you got to start both of them. And if Brown is not producing, you're wasting a roster spot. Where if I'm starting Derrick Henry, I'm getting 20.
But he's elite. Points. I mean, so are you saying you're worried? Are you worried about AJ Brown?
He's elite, yeah, but he hasn't showed that he's elite until last week in the second half only.
Hey,
so it would be tough. It would be tough where I'm guaranteed to get at least 20 points. Where I'm banking on, I need at least what would you need weekly from both of those players? 20 each to make it
No, I think
it?
you need to get 30 combined because that's probably where Henry's going to get close to 25 or 30.
You got to think,
and they're going to do more than that because it's 15 each.
Plus your other roster spot, though.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying is if you're looking at a baseline of that,
you're talking about
15
2 players
each.
to 1.
Yeah, you're probably right, Keenan. 40 is probably right, but that's what you're looking at. So
you need 40 because you got Derrick Henry plus your flex. Think about it, or your other wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if that other wide receiver gets 10
what
to 15
about
points,
Cooper Kupp and DeAndre Swift or Derrick Henry?
Oh, I would take that with the way Cooper Kupp's playing.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting
the number 1 wide receiver.
You're getting Henry's numbers in Cooper Kupp.
Okay, so Cooper. Okay, so then you're not putting them next to each other.
I'm not putting. I'm just talking about.
You need more. You need more with Kupp.
Before we started this conversation in my head, when you said, "What would I need for me to trade away Derrick Henry?" I said I would need a top 10 wide receiver, and a top 10 running back. And
so
I think
Cooper Kupp and AJ Brown.
No, I would need a running back. AJ Brown's not a running back.
Oh, you need a running back. You said. Okay.
I need a running back, and I need a wide receiver in the top 10.
I got you.
So I would take Cooper Kupp and Swift. I would think about it. I'd probably
Kupp and Gibson. Gibson and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, those are like those are all I would be thinking. Like it would drive me to think about that offer at least.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do is if you're offering a trade for Derrick Henry, you want the person to think about it. You can't, you know what I mean? If you're just if you're going to send an offer, if you're going to send an offer and it's, a BS offer, Brandon Ayuk, who is good, can be good, and some running back that if your initial offer isn't as good and it doesn't make me think about it, I'm not even going to consider trading him. So
that's a good point. Like when you're dealing with elites or you're dealing with big time players, like you need to look at it too as if I'm receiving this offer, am I even thinking about it? Like you just said, Keenan, if you're not, don't even offer it because you're going to hurt. Those are not kind of deals in my mind that you want to send a very a horrible first offer. Because you're going to piss the person off because it's just if they think that value is way off, no matter what, you're not getting a counter offer.
I just got a bad offer, and Savan, he's blowing on my phone. Wants Jameis Winston.
Calling him out live.
Wow.
He wants Jameis Winston in a Superflex league. And he offered me a 3rd round pick and Samuel, wide receiver for the Redskins. Like, what does that do for me? You know what I mean? Like, does it do it? So I'm not even going to bother text you back. So sorry, Savan. I love you, buddy.
That's fair. I like that. Yeah, and that's the point. Like, send a good offer. Like, do some due diligence on yourself. So my one last thing while we're talking about this. So you're obviously willing to give up, like you said, 2 top 10s at each position. So you're going to probably your flex spot is where you're going to downgrade, or you're going to downgrade that potential running back spot in order to take Henry because it's easy. Like you said, he's a league winner.
I still think it's almost impossible to trade for him.
Yeah. Okay. Dynasty, quick. Where's he at for Dynasty?
Like Eric said, you throw it out in your group chats. Derrick Henry's available. And see what comes out. I would hate to see Derrick Henry become CMC kind of next year or whenever those injuries come, or if they ever do come. He is getting up there in age, 27 years old for a running back. That's pretty high. Throw it out in the group chat, and maybe throw a line out. See if you get a bite.
Yeah, and the thing I want to mention with the age, like everyone's worried about the age. I 100% get it.
I'm not worried about the age.
But
I'm worried about the touches. The touches.
That too, but like even after all of these touches, and even being 27 years old, he's still the fastest player in the league.
Yeah, but
in terms of long distance, 70-yard run, he 21 miles per hour. I mean, that's ridiculous.
My car doesn't go 21 miles an hour.
Even if he slows down a little bit next year and the year after, like he's still going to be great.
Yeah, like I said, it's just the injuries. That's
what are you laughing at?
His comment with the car. That one got me.
But
yeah, I mean, we were watching that game, and once he got like right into the secondary, like Eric was just like, yeah, touchdown.
No, I thought
like
I was like
after he passed the first
12
guy,
yards in.
Yeah,
like 12 yards into the run.
Touchdown.
No, I thought someone was going to catch him. Like after he passed like the linebackers, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here comes a defensive back ready to tag him out. I was like,
guys are legit
then
force.
Then he like 5-6 yards. I'm like, all right, see ya. There's no chance. I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, someone might catch him from behind. Yeah, right. There's no chance.
There was one play where I saw Poyer was getting ready to hit him or getting ready for him to come at him, and I just felt so bad for Poyer because he's just you're hitting a wall. You're getting hit by a wall.
Yeah.
You're taking a punch basically from Mike Tyson. Okay, so that was pretty good. King's Ransom discussion.
Why don't you tell us if you got him in Dynasty League? What are you doing?
I'm holding him unless.
So you're throwing an offer.
So I'll be honest, I'd have him in one league. The players I would go for, I love my wide receivers, you know me, but I would be giving them up for young youth talent. Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I was just about to say, would you do Chase for Henry straight up?
I'd want more. I'd want more. I want Chase plus, but I know that'd be tough because truthfully, like Henry could be getting you 30, especially if he's getting these catches, man. If he gets anywhere near 30 or 40 catches, no CMC doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Like Henry is Henry the 101 next year in redraft? Most likely. Is he the 101 at Dynasty? No. I think CMC is going to fall off now too. But like not if you can get Najee Harris, Terrace Marshall, and maybe like a first. That might be a realm I'm thinking of like youth that I'm looking for in picks. And you got
your team is like outside of Derrick Henry is a complete rebuild, then yeah, you got to trade him. But everybody wants the youth in Dynasty. But at the end of the day, championships is all that matters.
Would you do Chase in a first if you're rebuilding?
100%, I would take that.
Oh yeah. So that was I didn't really answer that question properly. In the beginning, where if I have Henry, you're right. If I'm a contender, you're taking him. If you're not, Eric nailed it right on the head. Yeah. Get rid of him. Get as much as you can. Especially go after your contenders. Like don't wait for them to come to you. Go to them right now. Hey, I see you're on a championship run. I'm clearly looking to rebuild. Come get some pieces. Like that team I have Derrick Henry, for example. I think I have 5 first next year. So
yeah, I know. I saw that monopolizing the league. I saw that.
That's what happens.
I already know what's gonna happen. Draft season's gonna come. He's gonna try to rip all these guys off. I already know. Don't come knocking on my door.
The 2 guys in last place right now, I have both their picks.
Great.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so King's Ransom.
Watch this, Eric. Good thing there's a lottery system in that one.
Yeah, I know. You're great. So a King's Ransom segment done. I like it. The next segment, guys, we are just running through. We are 40 minutes in right now. We are talking a lot. Facing the crowd. That's where our next segment's going to be. A nice quick one here. So with all the bye weeks going on, the bye nados, the bye foons, I kind of like the bye foon. But whatever. Whatever, man. I just want to be different. Leave me alone. So
whatever you say, buddy.
just another face in the crowd. Who's the most random player you are starting in one of your leagues this week? Keenan, since you don't seem to have much of an issue, I want to hear who your most random player, if you even have one, is.
I'm starting J.D. McKissick in a couple leagues. Gibson's hurt with that calf injury. McKissick has been eating when it comes to receptions. So I guess, he had a career high or maybe season high, 8 carries in week 6 against Kansas City for 45 yards. I'm trying to think if it was season high or career. It was definitely season high, 8 carries. But he's definitely produced, especially when Gibson goes out for a couple drives. J.D. McKissick gets his touches. So even when Gibson is healthy, it seems like McKissick is always getting his touches, reception-wise at least.
Eric, how about you?
Eric doesn't have one.
Look.
Eric
I don't
doesn't
have many
one
random. I had to play Dearness Johnson in a league. I'm playing Ramondre Stevenson in a league.
Oh, that's kind of random, Ramondre.
Those are random as hell.
Yeah, well, Dearness, he gained a lot of traction.
Yeah, but
I
would be with Dearness because of Nick Chubb was out, and it's DDCL where we only start one running back. So I was stuck between Dearness or Kenyon Drake, anyways. So Chubb being out, and Hunt being out too. Kind of. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Drake is getting some touches now with the coaching change in Vegas.
Yeah.
Gruden's
out.
Of
course, I just dropped him.
Yeah, I think I picked him up after you dropped him.
Oh, so is he's not a drop candidate then for you? Because of what you just saw, right?
I try to hang on to him if I have the roster spot. Just see what's going on with Vegas.
Yeah, he was like my 6th running back, and nothing was happening. So I had to play Chester Rogers. You know what team Chester Rogers plays for?
Indeed. Is it?
He did used to. No, he's
at
Tennessee. No, he's Tennessee's 2nd wide receiver.
3rd.
3rd wide receiver. Yes, thank you. But he
4th, maybe 4th. What's up with?
No, he's 3rd. Well, with last week when he played, he was 2nd. That I had to play him. So this week it's DJ Dallas. Seattle's love that hope and aspires. And I also have to play Mark Ingram.
What league is this?
DJ, it's not one of the leagues I'm in with you.
I was gonna say if I'm committed to that league, I'm about to switch the schedule around.
But Mark Ingram, did you know Mark Ingram actually is top 10 in touches for running backs?
Yeah, what's he getting, like 0.5 a carry?
He's not doing really well, but he's also only got 1 touchdown. And the defense, like the defenses they've had to face so far, they've played the 26th, 28th, 31st, 30th, and 32nd run defenses, and 21st. So in total right now, he's got 86 carries in just 6 games. So he's averaging almost 15 a game. But yeah, he's averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. So it's nothing great. He's only got 1 touchdown. But keep an eye on Mark Ingram. I grabbed him for this week, but I don't know if he starts getting some touchdowns, which he probably really won't. But as long as he keeps getting those touches, he might be a valuable running back 3 or flex as we keep moving down the bye weeks, or for some streams you'll need. All right, facing the crowd. That was a good segment. Nothing fun. Sorry, Keenan, you got such great teams over here. Okay, so let's. So, all right, a couple more here. We're going to do some redraft and dynasty buys and sells, get into our streams of the week, and then get close to a close up here. Keenan.
Yes, sir.
Who's your dynasty buy? I know we were talking about him a little bit.
Oh, Brandon Ayuk. It's
Ayuk.
You can get him cheap right now, I think. You can. I almost traded for him in a league with our buddy Dylan. And I was in conversations with him for Ayuk in the offseason. Almost impossible to get him. The value, how much he's costing now, dropped significantly. So it didn't work out in the end with the trade, but I think you could get him pretty cheap right now. I think he's one of the more talented wide receivers in the league, honestly.
What are you throwing out for him?
I can't tell you that. I'll keep that between myself for now.
Well, we had a nice little trade before the season.
Yeah, we did. Oh man, what? It really makes me mad. I mean, it doesn't really make me mad. I think the trade kind of backfired on both of us, I guess. Which Chenault not producing and Carter and Carter still, I think Carter will be good still. But I think all three of those players will eventually figure it out. But
yeah, no one's truly winning just yet. Okay, Brandon Ayuk, that's a good one. All three of us actually, now I'm looking, went with some young wide receivers. Jalen Waddle, that is my wide receiver that I'm going to be buying right now because this guy, it almost seems like he broke out last week, right? Had his best game ever, had 2 touchdowns, Tua came back, threw for over 300 yards. But the thing is, the guy's averaging just over 10 yards a carry or catch, but he's got 36 catches and 49 targets in just 6 games. So let me read you what his stat line is going to be. If we were to project it out in 17 games, 139 targets, 102 catches, 8 touchdowns. Only problem is 852 yards. So that's going to get better. And like I said, Tua's got that connection with Waddle. Will Fuller hasn't been able to be healthy. Gesicki's doing well. Parker's coming back. The guy's getting targets. He's got over 10 targets in 3 of his games. I think they really love what they're doing with him. And I'm really excited for Waddle. So obviously, whomever's drafted him has paid that first round price. I'm willing to give that up too. Like I'm trading Terry McLaurin to get Jalen Waddle plus. I'll be trying to move Joe Mixon. I'll be trying to move Miles Sanders, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I really want Jalen Waddle. I think he's an amazing talent. But players of those calibers who I'm looking for.
What happens if Tua gets traded?
I mean, we know the rumors. If you want to talk about those rumors for a second. But the Deshaun Watson rumors heated up again between Miami and the Eagles, but mostly Miami, and it was a 3-team trade.
Yeah.
Rumors. I mean, you said that rumors can't just be rumors. There's this kind of stuff.
There's a truth behind every rumor, in my opinion.
Yeah, and all of a sudden now to get a Washington team involved, I mean, a third team getting involved in a rumor, that was just super odd to me for it to be shut down in a couple hours pretty quickly. So the trade deadline is in 10 days, November 2nd, the day of the Jimmy Jeech. Yes, so I think
I still don't think he gets traded.
In general, or the next 10 days?
In the next 10 days, I don't think he gets traded. I think, what's the point? Houston might as well just hang on to him for another year and figure out what the draft order is next year, and see if Miami or Philly or Washington, all bottom feeders right now in the league, they all need quarterbacks. It sounds like it. They're all been rumored in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. You might as well just wait till the end of the year, see where they're drafting, and try to get the highest draft of position that you can.
Points to cash though, and that's the only worry is like, what if it comes out in February after they still keep paying him money that he no longer can play, or that he's got issues where, I mean, I'm guessing they're probably gonna be able to suspend him or cut him, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to. They could probably get out of that money, I'm sure, with the legalities of the contracts, but I don't know. They still got to pay him for the next few months, and I think that's the big issue.
I don't think it is. I don't think the money's the issue, but I think. I mean, you make a good point, but maybe it's a value issue. Maybe you're worried about the off the field stuff. But wouldn't something have come out by now? It's been almost 10 months of these rumors, or whatever, 6 months or whatever, and I haven't heard anything. Stuff like this finds a way to disappear.
Yeah.
Which is horrible, but
it'll disappear in 10 days if nothing happens.
Yeah.
It'll at least disappear for a few months.
So, but
all right.
But Eric, if I'm the general manager of the Texans, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Eric, made it this far. Might as well wait.
He did. Who's your dynasty buy?
Yep, and like I said, another young wide receiver. I went with Rondale Moore, Arizona Cardinals. He's great, and even in college, he was an amazing talent. The only thing that held him back was injuries. He's coming into the NFL. He's getting probably more work than a lot of people thought he would. Going forward after this season, I don't foresee AJ Green or Christian Kirk being there. And he'll be alongside DeAndre Hopkins with Kyler Murray for the next 3 or 4 years. So, and I think that's going to be great for him. So, and right now you can probably get him for a second, maybe 2 seconds, or a second and a third. I would even be willing to pay a late first for him.
Beautiful. Rondale Moore, some good talent, man. He's a good player. Okay, so Rondale Moore, Brandon Ayuk, and Jalen Waddle. I like those buys. All right, so let's get into some sells then, guys. I'm going to start us off because you guys love this one. Get rid of Adam Thielen.
I swear to God, Adam Thielen must have kicked your dog, stole your money, stole your wallet or something because you hate this guy.
I have a personal vendetta with Adam Thielen. I said it in week 1 after his 30.2-point game that it's going to be the best game of the season for him. I haven't been wrong yet. 5 games later, still not wrong. 6 games later. So he had a great game last week. 13 targets, 11 catches, 126 yards and a touchdown. His best game in 15 games. Get rid of him. It's the bye week. You got players that are desperate. You got people that are desperate. Or you have good teams who really want to add to them. A lot of people are going to think that Thielen's great. He's got 5 touchdowns. He's in the top 15, yada, yada, yada. But I tell you all the time, the guy doesn't get yards. You have to rely on the touchdowns. He's already got 4 games this season with 50 or less yards, 4 of his 6, mind you. And yeah, he's got 5 touchdowns. He's scored in 5 different games, or 4 different games. So far it looks great. But if you could trade Thielen for and Brandon Ayuk, like Keenan said, Rashad Bateman, Robert Woods, go for Miles Sanders. Like, you can add talent to make up for this nonsense of Adam Thielen that's 29 and just going to keep ripping your heart out every other game.
I got nothing.
That's
Nothing
right.
for you.
You know I'm right.
You stole my redraft one after I entered in my redraft, so now I don't have a redraft. So
he could still be a redraft sell if it's the same reasons. We'll just say you just hammer it down.
Boom, there you go. I'm done.
Boom, saved him. Who's your dynasty sell?
Let me scroll up one. I forgot. Josh Jacobs. The past 2 games he's got in the end zone. The problem is with yards, just kind of with that, like Adam Thielen. He's only getting 50, 60 yards, but, he's getting in the end zone, which I think, dynasty owners are going to look at that. He's still young. The new coaching staff. And I know Kenyon Drake is getting work, but, he's still only there. Did they sign Kenyon Drake to just 1 year, or was it 2 years?
2 years.
2 years? Oh, well. That's unfortunate. But either way, try and flip him for CEH. See if you can get Clyde Edwards-Helaire for him. I would even trade, maybe see if you can do like Josh Jacobs in a second for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Josh Jacobs for, I'm trying to think. I don't know who's a couple guys you would trade him for.
Well, the problem is who would take him. That's the issue. You want to get Kadarius Toney? Go get yourself some Kadarius Toney.
I think somebody would.
Antonio Brown.
He's putting up consistent RB2 number. He's probably low end RB1 numbers right now.
Oh,
Josh Jacobs just getting into the end zone. But
I think he'll be fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're not worried about Kenyon Drake?
No. I mean, Gruden's gone. I don't know why he signed Drake. I think Jacobs will be fine, guys. I really do. He's very talented running back, obviously. Drafted in the first round. He's only 24 years old. Even if he leaves Vegas after next year when his contract expires, he's gonna go somewhere and some team's gonna pay for him to be a running back one.
That's what I think he needs, though, is maybe a new face, maybe a new place to go. I don't know. I like him a lot too, but I just keep wanting to like him, and they're just not utilizing him. And now that Drake just did what he did, who knows? Keenan, dynasty sell.
CMC. Simple. Injuries are starting to scare me on him, guys. I know you guys are going to laugh at me. He's gotten crazy amount of touches, not just in the pros, but go back into his college days at Stanford. The last couple of years, he's had 403 touches, 326 touches the year before. Can't find a way to stay healthy last year and this year. I am worried that he's going to become the next Todd Gurley. That's how much he has impacted me with all his injuries.
Okay, so what are you selling him for?
Hey,
That's
well, here's the thing: you don't have to trade him this second. You're looking for the right package. I think you still have time to sell him. I think you have all next off season to sell him if you wanted to. But let's say if you are able to get DeAndre Swift and a first, or DeAndre Swift, you get a second, something like around those lines, I think I would consider doing it.
okay. Da, 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 da.
No, you got nothing on that?
I think it's. I feel like him and Henry probably carry a very similar value. Because he's younger. Like, I get that he's got the injuries too, but he's also 3 years younger than Henry. So if he is healthy, they're both league winners. So, like you said, a young wide receiver, young running back, probably a top 10 young running back. Plus, get some picks in there. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
All right, redraft buy.
Thankfully, I don't have any McCaffrey shares in Dynasty, so I don't have to try to go crazy.
I have him in a contract salary cap league, so I really can't get rid of him because of his high contract and with everything going on.
I'd like to do one of those leagues next year.
They're fun. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if there's an opening.
Please don't. I don't need no league.
Redraft by Sterling Shepard. I talked about him earlier in the show. So he's played 3.5 healthy games so far this season. He's got 10 plus targets in each of them, 9 plus targets. Sorry, but he's played fantastic. Daniel Jones is clearly going to him. The Giants are not getting anything together except for the fact that Sterling Shepard is performing. So I think he's been I think he's been great. He still leads the team in targets despite missing 2.5 games. So go get him. You can get him for very cheap. Yeah, I think that Sterling Shepard is going to be. He's not going to be a league winner for you, but he can put up those wide receiver 2 numbers, those high end flex numbers, and you don't have to worry too much about what you have to give for him. Like, if you got McCole Hardman, if you got Rondale, no, you're going to need to do more than that. Maybe Michael Pittman, which we were just talking about, Keen. If you got Michael Pittman, trade him for Sterling Shepard. Julio Jones, I would give him up for Sterling Shepard, even though I believe in Julio having good second half. Yeah. What about you? What about you, Eric?
Mine's DK Metcalf. It's more of just get him now while Russell Wilson's out. He's still Geno is going to him, over everybody else still. I know he's not doing anything special. But if you're let's say 4-2 or 5-1 right now, and you can trade, you can flip, maybe even Terry McLaurin for DK, you might be able to make that happen, or something like that. Maybe Terry McLaurin plus a bench player, something like that, and just wait out the next couple of weeks. I think that's going to pay off huge going into the back half of the season.
I think he's going to be. Yeah, I like that DK buy, especially with Russ coming back. You got people worried about him. It's a good one. Keenan?
I like that. Miles Sanders, we already talked about him. He's starting to get a little bit more touches, like I mentioned, the last couple weeks. He's played 78% of the snaps. He's gotten 100% of the red zone touches. He's getting his offensive lines getting back healthy finally, and he has a very weak schedule coming up. Raiders, Lions, Chargers, all horrible run defenses. Plus, he plays Washington and the Giants a couple times there.
Heck yeah. God, he needs to fix it. Get us right into your cells.
Who's my cell here? Oh, Antonio Brown. Let me see if I have the notes real quick. Antonio Brown. I think he's hit his ceiling. I know last week I said I was mad that that I didn't get any shares of him last year, but I think he's hit his ceiling just because I feel like Mike Evans and Godwin are going to get it going eventually, and I don't know. I feel like he's hit his ceiling and it's time to sell him. That's pretty much it.
It's tough to keep believing in him,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think with that offense. I feel like one week Godwin's wide receiver 1 and we're all hyped on him, or Mike Evans, and we're all hyped on him. And now it's AB's turn to have a couple bad weeks. So I think it's if you can get, I don't know, like if you're trying to buy DK Metcalf, I think you try to sell it, use Antonio Brown as a piece to try to get DK.
All right, that's a good one. And I know that Eric, we did talk about Adam Thielen earlier. Is there anything else you'd like to add for your redraft sell?
Not really. It's just more, try and flip him for someone a little bit more consistent. Just because, like Antonio said, I do think he's going to end up having, more bad weeks than good, just because he does rely on those touchdowns. But yeah, just try and flip him for somebody a little more consistent that you can rely on more week to week.
Mine's a little weak this week. I apologize, but Cortland Sutton, not doing too hot without Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is coming back. Will it be tough to sell him? Absolutely, but you could package him, or I think you could sell Cortland Sutton for a Sterling Shepard, as we were talking about, a Brandon Ayuk that Keenan had mentioned. I think Devonta Smith. Michael Pittman, so maybe like a wide receiver for wide receiver. If you want to get rid of a bad habit, and you could add a player that might be able to shine a little brighter as the season progresses. Darnell Mooney. If you can get Darnell Mooney and
you said Cortland Sutton,
yeah,
he's had a couple good weeks there, buddy.
He does. That's why you can get rid of him for those. Hopefully, that's the crutch you want to lean on. Bridgewater's looking rough, and you have Jerry Jeudy coming back. The run game's been good for them, so. It will be tough, but I think those players that I just mentioned are players that are on a rebound for second half. Darnell Mooney, I don't know if I said him. Maybe even Allen Robinson if you're feeling a little froggy. Those are some players I think you could actually get a hold of.
The one stat I want to mention about Antonio Brown that slipped my mind was he's averaging 10 yards per target right now. He didn't even average that in Pittsburgh when he was wide receiver 1 in his heyday.
He's taking advantage.
Yeah, he is. So I just feel like his numbers are going to come down a little bit.
That's fair. All right. So our redraft sells are ended there. Let's end the show here with our streams of the week, and then we'll get it closed up. Keenan, who is your stream? We're back to. Oh, actually, I didn't even. Wow, I feel so bad because it's been a year, and I kind of tend to forget. But we've got our stream boat of the week coming back, guys. The SS Streamboat. It's been a long time here stuck at the dock, and now we get to go back and voyage out at sea and spend our time hopping islands and enjoying ourselves. And
I thought the steamboat sunk. It's been missing so long.
No, Streamboat's back, baby. It's been missing so long because we didn't want it. The people want it back by request.
All right, can you tell me who my stream is? I closed out the dock.
Nope, I can't help you out there.
Stevenson, running back for New England. That's who it was.
What? No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Is Big E questioning me? You got to remember,
Big E. No, we were talking about him earlier. I remember
right. I was playing. I don't know. You're still blank on the dock for me. Yeah. So
who? Me or Eric?
Yeah, it's blank. It's blank.
All right. So Ramondre Stevenson. That's your stream, huh?
Yeah. I mean, if you need a running back, he's getting the touches there in New England. I'm drawing a blank here. Damian Harris. He's struggled with his fumbling issues, and I think he's a couple more fumbles away from Belichick pulling the hook on him and putting Stevenson in there as his RB1. You know how Belichick is with his running backs.
He's funky. Yeah. He's funky. For me,
I'm looking at the doc right now. It definitely is filled in. So refresh your page.
I don't know. I can see mine, though, and it's Marquez Callaway. He's at Monday Night Football at the Seahawks. They're coming off their bye week. Look, he had 2 touchdowns the week before. So now that they had another week off together, one was a Hail Mary, but 2 touchdowns is 2 touchdowns. It was a great catch. But don't let it fool you. He's a deep threat, and I think they're going to want to come out strong, and they're going to want to put pressure on the Seahawks defense, especially without Russell Wilson. So they're going to want to throw, and they're going to want to throw it deep. So I think Callaway is a really good stream to get you 80 yards and a touchdown.
I like it.
And I'll jump in with mine. Darnell Mooney, wide receiver for the Bears. I know we were just talking down Allen Robinson earlier, but He has some kind of connection with Fields. He put up 15 points last week in PPR leagues, and he's only 47% owned on Yahoo. So, they're going up against the Bucks, so they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to throw the ball, and that could come to benefit for Darnell Mooney. So I think it was a very viable flex option for you.
Awesome. Ramondre Stevenson, Marquez Callaway, and Darnell Mooney. Perfect. All right, guys. That was a great show. Had a lot in there. Episode 46 in the books. Getting close to episode 50.
This is probably our shortest show.
Hour 5 minutes. Not too bad.
Short.
Yeah. We did a good job this week. You guys got anything you want to close out?
I got nothing. I mean, I've been enjoying the NBA basketball lately. I know you and I, Antonio, talked.
Oh, yeah?
It's nice to see sports finally back to normal. Fans in seats, teams traveling. It's nice to, I don't know. I guess it was been a long 18 months.
Yeah, I haven't watched basketball in like 2 years. Like I was saying, I love LeBron. So you can at me if you're gonna throw some shade. Yeah, it's been exciting to watch those late games. Well, he plays at 10:30 a lot of the times, so it's just been nice that I've been able to step a little more. Come on, don't be a hater.
No, there's 2 LeBron haters in this group.
There's too many. There's too many.
Yeah.
All right, well, make sure to tweet us any questions. You can find me at Antonio Denisi FF. You can find Eric at Biggie_FF and Keenan at Keenan_716. And you can find the pod at Dynasty Mafia_FF. Let us know. Start set questions, anything you need, trade questions. We are always down for that. DMs are always open, guys. So with that being said, Mafia out.